Hello, welcome to this update for parts of Oceania. So, in Australia, we have this cold front spots of southwestern Australia because of this low pressure there in the ocean, and it's bringing some storms to parts of southern southwestern Australia, including spots of Perth and other areas. And also, further north, we have a few storms too. There's this big high pressure just south of Australia in the ocean, keeping things dry. But further east, there's still these moisture spots of Queensland with some storms there too. So today's still Thursday, the 29th, and shows like still more storms Friday, spots southwestern Australia, a few showers Friday, and the European model does increase the intensity of those storms by like Saturday, late Friday into Saturday across Queensland. So it has some heavier rain there into Saturday morning, still by Sunday, some showers, and then this goes away there. But the European still has on June 2nd, Monday, a few showers in New South Wales. The GFS kind of, it has close to the coast there, and then this goes away towards New Zealand. But the GFS does have some snow on June 4th in Victoria. The European, not really. It has some showers there. And by June 2nd, we might have this next front across southwestern Australia because it's showing a big cyclone in the ocean, potential an extra tropical cyclone. With this cold front, they might have some heavy rain on June 2nd and June 3rd. Shows like especially further north in Australia, June 3rd, and then by the 4th, does still has some rain northwestern Australia, but especially June 5th still has more towards Tasmania and Victoria, and possibly some snow too later June 7th. But we'll still watch this potential because the GFS has a similar thing to the front on June 2nd across Western Australia. The icon too, it has like some storms in Perth by June 2nd, and later this keeps going June 3rd, still some storms southwestern Australia. So be aware of this front coming later in June 2nd especially, and later it might go further east. So the European does show the rainfall accumulation 5 days. It does have a lot of rain for Western Australia, and it's kind of weird, but it does show even to 200 millimeters some spots southwestern Australia because of this front on June 2nd. Just until Sunday, June 1st, it only has some 44 millimeters by June 1st, so nothing crazy, just this front that's there right now. The GFS just 14 millimeters until June 1st, but until June 3rd, the GFS is all the way to 50 millimeters from that front on June 2nd. The GFS has all the way to 200 by June 2nd, so I guess we'll see. But the icon's kind of in the middle. It shows around 70 millimeters in Perth until June 3rd, and some spots close to 100. So I don't think it will be that much like the Euro or that little like the GFS. Might be kind of in the middle. But I think the GFS is even more realistic than the European, to say the very least. So we'll keep watching. There's like more spots of interior Western Australia, shows some more showers or a few storms from these cold fronts, and the European has this massive surge of moisture into spots in northwestern Australia, like near spots in Exmouth and just south of Carafa. It has this surge of moisture. The icon is much smaller, but it does have some heavier storms in a few spots there as well. The GFS barely anything. It just has some 36 millimeters, like some 46 millimeters near Onslow. So be aware in those areas. I don't think it'll be this much like the European. It might be kind of like the icon is showing, 68 millimeters in a few spots there. But just be aware in case this happens, that might cause some flooding. Now back to Queensland, there's those storms there now, and the European that does have to show more than 100 millimeters. A few spots in Queensland, like some 114 near the coast to 111. For further south, just 55, 50 millimeters, some 44 in Brisbane, and near the coast, close to Brisbane on the coast, it does have to 110 and more spots. Just 40 in Gold Coast, but it does have some rain New South Wales too. Just until June 1st, doesn't show anything further south, just those storms in Queensland that will last from today, the 29th, until like the 31st. So be aware. The GFS does have more in the coast, but not as much as the European has, like just 75 millimeters spots of the coast. It has just 63 in Brisbane, the GFS. The icon is kind of in the middle, shows to 13 in Brisbane, but spots of the coast even to 96 in an island there, and more heavier in the coast, and some in New South Wales too. But be aware those areas just in case. And until June 3rd, it does have some more in New South Wales. So be careful in those areas, especially those storms in Queensland. There's the access now for southwestern Australia just until Sunday, June 1st. It has some 21 millimeters in Perth, some 23, some spots there. It does have near Exmouth, further north, like kind of Western Australia to 34 millimeters, 50. It doesn't have that surge of moisture like the European, but it might come later on as that front arrives on June 2nd. But it does have a few storms in spots of Western Australia near Exmouth and other spots there. And it does show like until June 4th, with that front coming, it does increase to 100 millimeters in Exmouth and other spots nearby. So the axis kind of has this surge of moisture, but it has closer to the coast there. The European had like more than 100 further inland. So but it does have 257 millimeters spots there, and most of southwestern Australia will have rain. But the front on June 2nd, it has 45 millimeters in Perth, close to 48, and some spots further south, close to 100, but this is still less than the European that showed 200. So be aware in those areas, and I think this is more realistic. The axis in Queensland does show as just 11 millimeters in Brisbane, but it does have further north on the coast to 81 in those islands, more than 85. It has just 18 millimeters in Gold Coast, but it does have some shower spots of New South Wales and Queensland, so be aware, some showers too. And further south in Victoria, it does have some as well. So Tasmania, so be aware in those areas, especially like western, eastern, and western Australia, because of those fronts in Western Australia and like those storms there in Queensland. So be careful in those areas. There's the high resolution one, just next 24 hours, shows already to 95 millimeters just next day or so in Queensland. So be aware in those areas there'll be some heavier storms. There's like further into northern Queensland, not really that much. Further south, a few showers close to the coast in New South Wales next day or so, but it's kind of dry. Tasmania is still nothing. Let's see if they have like Western Australia or Southwestern Australia. They do have like, this is until Friday the 30th, so they do have already some showers and a few storms, nothing crazy, but already some storms that front. So be careful those areas, especially the fronts in the west and those storms there in the east. So here shows for snow accumulation until June 3rd. Nothing really to watch, just in Tasmania it has like 1 centimeter, the European. The GFS by June 3rd already has in Victoria more than 5 centimeters. The GFS has in Tasmania too. The European doesn't have anything Victoria, just later, like June 7th. The European shows snow there June 7th later. But there's the icon, nothing, nowhere. So the icon still doesn't show anything. But yeah, be aware, those areas in New Zealand still show snow next 5 days. Spots of the South Island. So be aware there's southern New Zealand, some spots in the mountains, and most of these southern areas. The GFS has more in the mountains, to like some 25 millimeters, centimeters in a few spots, further north as well. So be aware the icon has more like there in the mountains, not so spread out. But be aware those areas. There's this system now with some showers northern New Zealand, so be aware a thunderstorm or two and some showers today, Thursday. This goes away. Shows some snow Friday because of those winds there in southern New Zealand. Saturday, maybe a snowflake or two, even a small spot of freezing rain in some of those mountains by Sunday, June 1st. Then this goes potentially the next system June 3rd and June 4th. The European has strong storms in northern areas on June 4th and more snow and freezing rain there in the south by June 4th, June 5th, and then this goes. So we'll keep watching. The GFS has also this big front by June 4th, so be aware and we'll keep watching. Does show as snow until like June 7th, does increase a lot from that system by June 4th. So yeah, we'll keep watching. There's rain accumulation until June 3rd. It does have like just until June 2nd first. So until June 2nd, some 61 to 66 millimeters spots to the southwest because of those winds that are in the ocean with moisture, and shows like some 24, 21 millimeters further north, the North Island from those storms now. But after June 4th, they'll have that system that already shows much higher further southwest, even to 171 on the European. The GFS more like widespread, 107, more spots to like 94 millimeters. And the European has like further north on June 4th, more than 100 millimeters, a few spots. The GFS to 100, the icon just 45. But yeah, but shows those shower storms further into northern New Zealand too by June 4th. So be aware those areas, and especially like right now on the 29th we do have some stronger wind spots in northern New Zealand, like by June 30th tomorrow does have some stronger winds central southern New Zealand in a few spots. This goes on the European still has some very high wind gusts, like 113 km per gust potentially spots the North Island. The GFS just 66 and just 70 km per gust, but the European does have the South Island some strong gusts widespread Friday tomorrow. So this goes shows further into central New Zealand. A few spots there's some stronger gusts, like some 100 km per gust, 98, and then this goes towards Waitani. So Saturday, be careful there in Waitani. The three models have some very strong winds right over you, like Saturday into Sunday, June 1st. So be careful in those areas, and then this goes away and our next system starts coming in by June 4th into northern New Zealand, some higher gusts potentially in many areas until like June 7th and even later on. But that's kind of far, so we'll keep watching. For rain, further east into the rest of Oceania, still shows like storms in the Solomon Islands, scattered showers and storms, and more spots of like southern central Solomon Islands and these areas of Vanuatu, Tuvalu, especially Tuvalu. Vanuatu is drier. Further south is dry, a few showers in the north, but Tuvalu still some occasional heavier storms in some spots. Samoa, there's still some lingering moisture, few showers and storms. A day or two Fiji, some wintry showers, but nothing too crazy. A thunderstorm or two as well. And then does show French Polynesia, those fronts still in a few spots, a few tropical-ish thunderstorms further north, but these fronts further south will have some storms too, so be aware. There's the GFS does have spots of French Polynesia to 40 millimeters, 14 millimeters, spots of Samoa too, and does have in the Solomon Islands more than 100 millimeters too, so the GFS even to 200 millimeters, the Solomon Islands. The icons shows many areas close to 100 as well, so still be careful those downpours across Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands, especially central Papua New Guinea. Some spots in Western Guinea, be careful as well. Northernmost Queensland still has some showers, so yeah, stay safe, especially those areas. There's some showers. The icon I showed you there, but New Caledonia is kind of dry, and north of Vanuatu some showers. Burnt pine might have some effects from those cold fronts with some winds and storms, but yeah, the rest is kind of fine. Some showers in French Polynesia, and yeah, further east on the Pacific, there's like in Easter Island, there shows some showers from those cold fronts that head towards South America. So be aware there as well. Some showers, maybe some gustier winds. So in terms of winds, shows most strong winds further south in the Pacific, but sometimes slightly breezier, like French Polynesia, slightly breezier. A few spots further east into Eastern Island shows some 52 km per gust today. Then this goes and still like sometimes breezier in Samoa. Beware some small craft advisors when these winds pick up and near Australia because of those storms. So June 2nd, June 3rd still shows slightly gustier, a few spots there. And yeah, so stay safe. The show, yeah, by Friday the 30th, this low pressure just south of East Island with slightly higher gusts in a few spots, but nothing really that crazy there. The winds are like further south, but just be aware. And the temperature still shows colder southern Australia. Those spots in the south, it's nearly to like 0 degrees in a spot or two, and close to 1 degree might be kind of the risk of frost in a few spots, and shows like some 9 degrees in a few spots. This goes right now like Friday morning. So this here's Friday morning. Spots of Canberra and even New South Wales to like -1, -2, even a spot of Victoria. So be aware, it's kind of coldish or chillyish further north. During the afternoon, gets warmer. Northern Queensland, Western Australia, slightly warmer. But this here is Sunday morning on June 1st. Shows like widespread 0 to -1 across southern New South Wales and Victoria. So be aware. Tasmania kind of as well. So be aware. This is Saturday morning on May 31st. Still cold, and like Central Australia, even to 5 degrees, 7 degrees, kind of those below average temperatures dominating. But this goes and still cold later. By June 2nd, the show slightly warmer northern Queensland, sunspots on the west as well. On the east coast, some kind of mildish temperatures, just sometimes colder. And this goes shows even a small warm intrusion into South Australia by June 3rd, slightly warmer and warmer Northern Territory especially. But this goes and still very cold spots Tasmania, Victoria by June 3rd still. So still be aware. And then this goes So be careful. I didn't show like wind in Australia. There's this front in the southwest, some Hargus near the coast, spots of northern Australia, slightly higher in a few spots too. So Friday, this goes, that system dives further south, and then this bigger front by June 3rd, spots of Western Australia. So this already June 2nd already shows some winds. It might pick up the winds more. June 3rd, some spots Western Australia. So be aware, some days like interior spots near the coast too, and especially South Australia, as this passes by June 5th, just south of Australia, might have stronger winds in Victoria too. So the GFS is a different situation, it does have slightly stronger winds there too. And then this goes, we have to watch later. So be aware, those storms in Queensland might have some gusty winds inside them, but nothing too crazy. So be careful. The island some tropical-ish temperatures, but not as hot as some months ago, but still tropical-ish. But New Zealand's already colder there in the mountains, especially like during the night to -2, -3, more spots in New Zealand. So this goal still shows like spots of the South Island to like -4 or something. I don't know why it's not loading here, but show like some -3, some -2 Saturday morning. This goal still shows cold. The north some 16 degrees, 17 in the afternoon still, but this goes and slightly colder during the night. This goes, but later, by like June 5th, we might have this front and might leave things even colder. So it's showing like to -6 on June 6th in the morning and widespread colder temperatures further south. So we're still watching this, but potentially it's even showing on June 8th to -9 in some spots there in the mountains. So we'll keep watching, but stay safe, especially those showers and everything. So here, check the link in the description for Australia and New Zealand to check the warnings. And in the Australia link, there's that map that shows the frost probabilities and everything too, like I showed last time. So check that as well. And stay safe. And also these larger waves if there are strong winds.